right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Spotlight. I'd like to first start by apologizing for a bit of my tardiness. I had to reboot the streaming platform, have my other show with the producers on Fridays, and now I'm doing this show right now here on Saturday, so needed to do a reboot, but we're here, we're gathered here, and we have a packed house tonight. We have quite a few recording artists who submitted their beats right here to this show, so I'm not going to keep you guys too long so we can get into some great music. So this show is called The Real Spotlight Artist Feedback and Showcase Show. So the reason I started this, man, you know, there's a lot of things going on with AI and real human connection and things like that being broken, and a lot of people have been complaining. So I said, hey, let me go ahead and start this show so that way we can get real recording artists connected with real people, real fans right here on YouTube. So that way you guys can meet each other and discover some new music and possibly collaborate with each other. So that's why I went ahead and started this show. So you might be wondering, who am I? Who's this guy who started this show, and why exactly should I be listening to his feedback? Well, my name is Desmond A. I've been producing music for over 12 years now, work with tons of independent recording artists, different artists online, sold beats, have my instrumentals on different TV shows, E-television, Sci-Fi, Bravo, pretty much all over the place. So I know a little bit about a little bit, recorded artists, produce music, all that stuff. So I'm here to give you my feedback to help you guys out as recording artists. So want to go ahead and give a special shout out to the chat and everyone who's going to be tuning into the show. Just a little bit of housekeeping, just to let you know, free submissions are closed. Right now, if you're an artist, you want to submit your beats, you will have to get the VIP Skip the Line Pass. You'll see it pinned right there in the chat. Just get the VIP Skip the Line Pass. I'll get your music and go ahead and add you to the queue. And like I said, we have a very packed house tonight, so make sure you get that VIP pass as soon as possible because, you know, we're packed. So that's how we're going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put on my headphones here. All right. Let me go ahead and get everything nice and going. All right, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and get in FL Studio here. We have quite a few artists who submitted tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and get going. All right, so the first artist submission tonight is Sysia DaNae. We're going to start with her song Love Game. And for all the artists out there, just to let you know, we're going to be playing between 30 seconds and a minute and a half of your music, so that way we can move along, everyone can get a feel for your music. But if you get a VIP Skip the Line Pass, we will play your whole song. Free submissions, just about up to a minute and a half, but everyone gets at least 30 seconds. So that's how we're going to go ahead and do it. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with our first artist. Once again, this is Sysia DaNae with Love Game. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, play this song, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Don't try to complicate it. You're not my baby.
There we go. First submission of the night. We got some R&B. Definitely appreciate that R&B. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it up. Give it up. Got some R&B starting the show off right. So yeah, great song, great concept. To me, whenever I'm hearing that song, it feels like this is one stage of the final song that can actually be created. So, you know, depending on where you're at, please try to get some type of studio time at even a mid-size, or if it's in your budget, a larger recording studio, so you can work with an engineer to get the final version done. This one just has a lot of kind of like demo vibes. Like this is a version that you might have recorded with like a friend or something, but I want to hear that real studio version with the harmonies and the ad lib and the, you know, the great mix that's gonna come with it. So yeah, definitely keep at it. I enjoyed that song. I just want to hear the developed final, you know, fresh out the oven version. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you get that, I think you'll be all good to go. But great way to start off the show. All right, now moving on, we have another submission by the same artist, Sysia DaNae. This one is called Vibe. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic, play the song, and then go ahead and give my feedback. Starting the show off right. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
SC Trill, man, you already know the deal, huh?
Ain't talked for a while. He hit me up one day. Say, baby, down to ride. Catch up on all our mistakes. Just ride, baby, step inside. Take it on a ride. Turn the speakers high and just vibe, vibe. Baby, step inside. Take it on a ride. Turn the speakers high, vibe. You make me feel good like nobody could. Tell me, is it real? 'Cause that's how I feel. You make me feel good like nobody could. Tell me, is it real? 'Cause that's how I feel. Top down, stars out, your gaze, my soul.
All right, second submission from Sysia DaNae. That one was called Vibe. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So yeah, that song, I enjoyed that song as well. That one, I liked the voice. The voice felt like it was much more in key and locked in with the beat that time. Other than that, that song kind of feels like I just want you to dig a little bit deeper in the songwriting, just a little bit. I know this is a chill, laid back kind of vibe. It's called Vibe. We're supposed to just, you know, be vibing out, chilling. You know, I definitely respect that and I appreciate it. Once again, I like the overall feel and tone of the song. I'm a R&B person myself. I love this type of music. So if just dig a little bit deeper, just one layer deeper in your songwriting, just try to push yourself a little bit more, and I think we can come out of the studio with just a more developed version. Just as far as the writing go, I like the voice, but the writing, I feel like just kick it up just a notch, just up a notch, just a little bit, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, shout out to you, Sysia DaNae. Thank you so much for submitting right here on the Real Spotlight. Please continue to submit, and I'll be glad to give you my feedback. All right, moving on to the next recording artist, we have Calm Before the Storm. This one is called The World is a Contradiction. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
It's just people are fake, bro. You gotta understand this is a fake world. That's what we gotta understand, Vlad. Everything we saying gonna amount to a fake world. It's not real, man. It's a fake world, man. They will love you one minute and hate you the next, man. I just told you they will love you while you beefing, but if somebody die, they hate you.
Walking on the fence with pressure at every turn. Lessons is never learned at all angles, you're getting burned. There's love, then there's hate, but the energy's not the same. Stuck in this game, reviews come with extra complaints. Everything was all good just a week ago. The ego grows to see control. On eggshells, we tiptoe. Front man to the spotlight, if the gang collects all the coin. American dream felt like a vice grip on the groins. Blind leaders are masked, and only cheaters get past. Cycle continues, and the issue's everlasting. Two-faced ways disguised with handshakes, demanded like a band-aid. Cause common sense just never translates. Confusion as a trap to keep the mind in the tailspin. Through the back and forth tandem, the process gets random. Passive aggression in adult adolescence. Do as I say, not as I do, in a twisted expression. Malice in the message, slowly society regresses. If it's war, then it's war. Don't try to patronize with questions. Smile in the face of madness, beautiful sadness. A narcissist fairy tale, a sadist couch casting. Self-destruction is the way the savages got it made. Always preaching, never practice.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Calm Before the Storm with The World is a Contradiction. Thank you so much for your submission today. All right, so Calm Before the Storm. I like the intro and I like the aesthetic that you're going for musically. It felt like your flow was kind of locked into an older time, and not in a nostalgic way, in a way that we want you to push yourself forward and be more with the times. And I don't mean keep up with all the young people doing all the auto-tune stuff, which is cool. We have people like Griselda who do the nostalgic vibes, but at the same time, it feels like it has that modern flair to it. So, definitely please work on your flow, work on riding the beat and things like that, because the first thing I felt was like somebody locked into an older period. So it might be, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but, just work on your flow, record yourself. You don't always have to do a final full song. Just record yourself and work on your flow. It just has that almost like 80s kind of, a little like late 80s kind of flow pattern, and it's going to throw people off. So please just develop the flow. As far as the actual song goes, I expected more from the production, especially with the intro. It made me super excited. Then when we got to the beat, it was just kind of one-dimensional. I felt like I wanted more, like a big bass hit as the beat went on. So I would want more of developed production as well. So, keep at it. I can see the type of what you're trying to accomplish. We just have to modernize it more while keeping the old school, the parts of the old school that we want to keep, and then we want to push it up to modern times. So that way we have this nice, refreshing thing and not something that feels dated. So hopefully that was clear, and thank you so much for your submission today. All right, looks like we got another submission here from Calm Before the Storm. This one is called No Cuffing Season. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play the song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen, guys.
Damn, man. Yeah, these female out here, these days, all they really want is some cash and shit. Miss Officer, she said she don't wanna cook. She said that she giving up. She said that she don't love. All that love shit for the birds. All that hurt that mental earth. All that shit, yeah, really hurt. Miss Officer, Miss Officer, Miss Officer, Miss Officer,
Yeah. Genetic did good, man. With a gag and swag and a game plan. Ain't trying to waste time with a dead end. Already made family owned acres wide land. Let me fly you to paradise. Dating feel like a game with the paradise. He done hurt you so bad, cause you scared to ride. Take my hand, close your eyes, and upgrade your life. Transform her for baby, mind a housewife. Give the babies a home with a tour guide. Yeah. Don't cry, cause I'm by your side. Or whatever, I'm down to slide. He can't make you smile, he can't treat you right. Here comes Superman, here to save the day. With your every prayer, I can take you there. From the devil's lair to the heaven stairs.
Officer, she said she don't wanna cook. She said that she giving up. She said that she don't love. All that love shit for the birds. All that hurt, that mental hurt. All that shit, yeah, really hurt. Miss Officer.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Calm Before the Storm's second submission of the night. That one is called No Cuffin' Season. So shout out to you, Calm Before the Storm. Thank you so much for your submission. Now that song felt like it had much more, had modern sensibilities. One thing that really couple things jumped out at me. One, the hook. I felt like the hook, we definitely need a different hook. I'm hearing like an R&B hook, like Miss Officer, you know, we can have like an R&B singer do the hook and then have you come in and actually do the verse. And then certain parts of the verse, I could hear your flow slipping a little bit here and there. To me, that sometimes it could be hard to hear ourselves. Me personally, as a producer, there's certain things that artists had to point out to me that I was doing in some of my production. One was adding way too many sounds. The other was just a couple of different things that wouldn't really make sense right now, just talking to you guys. But sometimes we need a second ear to actually help us hear certain things that we don't. And I just heard certain parts where your flow was slipping. So I'm not quite sure what area you live in, but I'm going to make one of the same suggestions I made to one of the previous artists, which is to try to get time into a studio, maybe a mid-sized studio, maybe a bigger studio. And it's not something you have to do all the time. Just maybe have a couple of songs that you really like, that you know that you want to really have produced. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the engineer needs to point out certain things to you. Sometimes the engineer can even slip and slide your voice in Pro Tools right on beat and nudge it in ways that sometimes you guys don't even know is going on. So yeah, definitely keep at it. That song needs a new hook. Also another thing I heard was the bass in that beat started to get overwhelming and it started to drown out your vocals as well. And that's one of the things that also prompted me to mention you taking time to go to a recording studio, mid-size, bigger one. And you guys may not know, but even bigger recording studios, they have like smaller rooms, so you can get like high quality in smaller rooms. And then also on certain days, like sometimes Sundays, early Sundays or off-peak hours, studios will run certain specials. So, you know, if you guys want to save money and get more bang for your buck, definitely reach out to recording studios and ask them just straight up, do you have certain times where there's certain specials? Because they will run those discounts that may not be right there on their Instagram page or on their website. You have to actually reach out and then they'll say, hey, you know, Sundays at this time or Wednesdays at this time. And that could possibly work with your schedule as well, as far as work and school and whatever else you might possibly have going on. So hopefully that helped you out. Thank you so much for submitting Calm Before the Storm. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and I'll be glad to help you out on your musical journey. All right. Moving forward to the next recording artist, we have 25 Red Dot with Top Pick. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Oh, Lord. When of very few who one fuck with a boom. Keep a tool to maneuver through you and your crew. And whoever else want it, they getting it too. Break them down in the particles, atomic bombing. They didn't think that I could do it, this is perfect timing. Get the going here first, I'm militant minded. Representing for my brothers, looking like my mother. Climbing up and out the gutter, claiming my spot. Top notch, top pick, I'm the shit, bitch. The chosen one is never spoken of. Used to take a risk, roll the dice, gamble your life. When they see me, they salute me, so respect my handle. Top notch, top pick, I'm the shit, bitch. The chosen one that's never spoken of. Used to take a risk, roll the dice, gamble your life. When they see me, they salute me, so respect my handle. Nobody knows which way it goes. I see him creeping tiptoe, I let it explode. Drop a low, hit the road, green got me on gold. This is paper route red, you know what it is. They wonder what's my motive. I'm in motion, my emotions, don't you provoke them. Or by the riverside, you be floating. Don't attempt them, if I up it, you would send it. Show them no pretending, with no pun intended. Top notch, top pick, I'm the shit, bitch. The chosen one that's never spoken of. Used to take a risk, roll the dice, gamble your life. When they see me, they salute me, so respect my handle. Top notch, top pick, I'm the shit, bitch. The chosen one that's never spoken of. Used to take a risk, roll the dice, gamble your life. When they see me, they salute me, so respect my handle. Move exclusive, I can be intrusive. Gotta shake them up. LVs on my body, shorty dripping the powder. No matter how it goes, I never will fold. One of the illest and the sickest, I feel like the realest. Quick on the draw with this 40 cal, acting wild. Sipping 100 proof raw with no chase behind it. Give it my all until I fall out.
And gentlemen, that was 25 Red Dot with Top Pick. Shout out to you, 25 Red. Thank you so much for your submission today. So yeah, a couple things here. First, you have a good voice. You have a very good rapping voice, and I can tell by the way you deliver your music, the way that you deliver your voice and the way you project it, that you've been rapping for a while. You've been recording for a while. And not only that, you've probably been in studios quite a few times. You're not just somebody who you might record at home now, but you've spent some time in the studio. And I could tell by the way, this is kind of somewhat nerdy things I can kind of hear. You're projecting directly into the capsule of the microphone, and not everybody knows how to do that. So shout out to you for doing that. It's definitely appreciated. Now, as far as feedback, to me, first thing I heard was that the vocals were a little too loud. It kind of overly dominated the song. So if you're going to have like a final version, then definitely, of course, reach out to your engineer and have them get the track out so they can blend everything together and not have the vocals sitting too loud on top of the beat. Or your engineer, or if you have a friend or someone who engineers, there's different tools that can be used to help just get your vocals to sit in the beat a bit more, even if they don't have the track outs. But the track outs would definitely help. They can really sit the vocals in and let it blend in the way it needs to blend. Other than that, vocals too loud. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Another thing I wanted to say to you is that the way that your voice sounds and the character of your voice, if you have more music, you actually sound like you would be good for doing music for sync. So things like TV shows and films and things of that nature. I actually interviewed a producer, multi-platinum producer, Drew's That Dude, for my podcast here on my YouTube channel called Made in the Studio. He has quite a few sync placements. And one thing that he pointed out as far as getting your music on TV shows and things like that is to actually actively seek out conferences for things of that, like that. Music supervisors, music for film, music for TV shows. Just search online and see exactly where these different things are going on, so that way you can actually get your music placed on some of these platforms. So yeah, keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and definitely please try to find your music into things like sync, because I think that would definitely work. All right, moving forward, we have another submission today by 25 Red Dot. This one is called What It Do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic, play this song, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
El Magnifico.
is, what it gon' be. Getting to the cake, ain't got no time to hate. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Watch your mouth when you talk, watch your step when you walk. Huh? What it do, what it is, what it's gon' be. Getting to the cake, ain't got no time to hate. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Watch your mouth when you talk, watch your step when you walk. Huh? Cashman, sweater, the Louis V's on. Heckling, cash the belt, popping my shit. Fly, get stepping out the whip. Shorty, she want it, she with it, she gon' chew the dick. I ain't sick with the neck, wrist on slush. Ears dim, froze, the heart still cold. Big bag, bowl, pockets on swole. In the lime, like my jewels shine bright. Never could you turn a hoe into a housewife. Players gon' play, hoes gon' hoe. Haters gon' hate, it ain't no debate. Better know your place so you get put in it. Feel like Popeye off the muscle with the spinach. They sick, I'm spinning, they can't stand, I'm winning. Feel like Popeye off the muscle with the spinach. They sick, I'm spinning, they can't stand, I'm winning. What it do, what it is, what it's gon' be. Getting to the cake, ain't got no time to hate. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Watch your mouth when you talk, watch your step when you walk. Huh? What it do, what it is, what it's gon' be. Getting to the cake, ain't got no time to hate. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Watch your mouth when you talk, watch your step when you walk. Huh?
What it do, what it is, what it's gon' be. What it's gon' be, got no time to hate. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling great. Watch your mouth when you talk, watch your mouth when you talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the second submission of the night by 25 Red Dot. That one is called What It Do. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your submission. Yeah, that one definitely have that same similar energy to the other song. You have this anthemic kind of voice that I think definitely would work well for commercial and things like that. So definitely look into that once again, because I see that it's consistent. Another thing that's consistent is that the vocals are just a little bit too loud. They're a little bit too prominent over the beat. You know, maybe that's something that you actually like. You probably prefer your voice to just dominate the beat a lot, but it's just a little bit too much. So if you can get your producer, your engineer to just pull it down a little bit, it's just a little too overbearing. So I know you have a good, powerful character in your voice, but it's just a little too overbearing. Just tell them to dial it down a couple of dBs. One thing that they can also do to help see how loud things are is to actually, whenever you guys are working together, tell your producer, or if you produce yourself, whatever, try to put your song into mono, so you can find a plugin to put on the master or whatever DAW you're using to put it in mono. Once you put it in mono, it's going to reveal a lot of things. Putting things in mono is, instead of stereo, certain things are going to pop out and poke out. And there's a rule of thumb in, engineering and production and things like that, is if things sound really good in mono, once you return it back to stereo, it's going to sound incredible. That's one of the things that I've heard in the past. And then also Mixed by Ali, Kendrick Lamar's engineer, also made that point on a different podcast. It's the Help Me Devon podcast. He had an interview on there. He mentioned that. So I think that can help reveal a few things and not have the vocals overbearing moving forward. But yeah, shout out to you. Thank you so much for your submission, 25 Red Dot. What it do. If you guys like the music of any of the artists here, please go ahead and check them out. Of course, you can see their names right here on my screen. Just go ahead and look them up, Google them, check them out on Instagram. I'm pretty sure they're going to be easy to find. All right, moving forward, we have 3030 DMP with Hurricane Murderland intro. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
This is Cuckoo Production.
They say them GC niggas real life, they ain't never lied. Until you ride with a G, you ain't never ride. Until you walk in my shoes, you don't know shit. And all these hating ass niggas make me so sick. I ain't never been a bitch, you can bet that. So run up on me if you want, get your chest cracked. Feeling style in my blood, nigga too strong. Hurricane Murderland, it's a new storm. 30G, yell it all night. Till the cops came through with them spotlights. When they came, we ain't run, so they ran down. Running shop through the state with them Brams now. Nigga don't believe me, ask Jack Johnson. I wish death on a nigga like Charles Bronson. Tell that nigga Ruger let in Lieutenant East. That the Murderland Prince said fuck each. Bringing winds from the east and the south too. And spreading words about this motherfucking drought too. Circle 7 on my mind, shit is way deep. You thinking shit gon' get better than you crazy. Say they better get strapped, cause it's about time. 11th hour in a minute, then you out of time. They feed us bullshit and lies, and we feeding in. Every day dealing with the devil, you can see the grin. Told them I could find heaven if I go to church. I told them I could blow a 7 before I go to work. And be high all day, me and my God. He stay with me all the time, nigga, I pause. So I'll pass on the blasphemy. Guns aimed at the demons that's after me.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was 3030 DMP with Hurricane Murderland intro. Shout out to you, 3030 DMP. All right. Oh, what's going on, J-Zo? Shout out to you, J-Zo. J-Zo in the chat. Shout out to you. No, J-Zo, this is actually a artist feedback show. So, you know, we have different recording artists submitting their songs. So this is a separate show outside of the Heat Check. For everyone who doesn't know, I have a Heat Check, which is the producer feedback show. And then right now we have the Real Spotlight, and this is the artist feedback show. Something I'm trying out right here on YouTube, just trying to give more value to people, and this time giving more value to recording artists. So yes, J-Zo, it's been a minute. I understand the scheduling and stuff like that, but shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining this stream as well. All right, now 3030 DMP, giving you some feedback here. So 3030 DMP, one thing I'm hearing is like the beat doesn't really take me anywhere. I understand that this is supposed to be like an intro and you're really trying to get people to be amped up for possibly like another song that's going to come right after it. But the beat just, it doesn't really take me really anywhere. So one thing that I've noticed working with different recording artists is that sometimes you guys will have lyrics and you'll try them out on different beats. So I would want you to keep the lyrics for this song, just keep them in the tuck, and then look for different beats. Look for, of course, a lot of people are searching through YouTube. Look for different beats that could really capture the same energy, but with just a better beat. That beat just was just, it didn't really go anywhere. But keep the lyrics, try it on a different beat, and I'm sure it's gonna go far, man. So yes, go ahead and do that. Also, another point of feedback is that the mix sounded a bit harsh. It just felt a little bit cold and a little bit brittle. So, you know, try to get the mix tightened up as well so it can be more pleasing to the ear. So want to get like a smoother mix on that. But shout out to you, 3030 DMP. Continue to grind, continue to make great music. All right, J-Zo. We got J-Zo here. So J-Zo, all right, I'll be glad to check you out, man. Probably moving and grooving out there during the holidays, but thank you so much for showing up in the chat. All right. Moving forward, we have the same artist here, 3030 DMP with Murderland. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give some feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Yeah, 30, OL, 30, tip for Ted Taylor. Village Style Entertainment in association with Hypnotic Music, baby. Know what I'm saying? It's my second time around right here. Guaranteed to put it down on this motherfucking track right here. Look here. I like to welcome everybody to my humble abode. Make yourself at home while I whip this shit over the stove. Take a notice to all the niggas that's in front of the house. Every one of them strapped and ready to empty them out. Right up under the couch cushion is a 40 or 45, 357 and 9, a shotty, and oh my god, a 50 caliber chrome. The finish is desert heat. Something fully automatic to carry 223. Murderland, rockabye baby. 36 ounces and cutting crack crazy. I played with the blade till my skin raw. Then saw massive amounts of my homies go in for a leave with possession, intent to distribute.
stop. That's how they play it in my hood. Think I'm joking, and hammers ain't the only thing that's smoking. 30-30 don't talk.
Second submission of the night by 3030 DMP. That one is called Murderland. So shout out to you 3030 DMP, and thank you so much for your submission. Now 3030, kind of leaning on the same feedback on the other song. The mix felt harsh and brittle. It almost felt like something about the mix is just cold. And if the mix feels cold and it doesn't have that, how do I explain this? So part of me was kind of hearing a little bit of like Eminem vibes. I'm not saying you sound like Eminem. I'm saying the production and the certain energy was feeling, kind of put me in that Eminem vibe. And with that, if we listen to the production of people like the Bass Brothers, I don't know if it's Bass Brothers or Bass Brothers, those producers in those older Eminem songs, the mixing was nice and warm. It was a lot of aggression. It was a lot of energy coming out, but the mix was still nice and warm. It had a nice top end, and it felt like it pulled us into the music, and the cold mix kind of pushed me out of the music. Other than that, also, it's like I felt like the production could have been stepped up another level. Like some of the sounds in there just didn't really, I felt like we just needed new sounds in that beat just to get the production right. I feel like you can even get have this same song with this same beat and have another producer create a different version of it with just better sound, so that way the overall song can really pull us in. It felt cold, and it felt like there's a way that it could be developed and transitioned to something warmer, still aggressive, but more developed. So hopefully that was clear. But shout out to you, 3030 DMP. Please continue to make music, and please continue to keep grinding. All right, moving forward, we have the Mids with They Don't Care About Us. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Demonstration, reparation, separation, concentration on society. Uncivilized and sanctified, cause they keep telling lies to me. Land grabbing bastards wanna see this bitch ratchet. Matriarchal, yeah, what's happening?
Born alone, die alone, the mantra. Give him hell, give him contra. Big pool like contra, I was born in this drama. Give him no pity, niggas move shifty. Smoke, you piffy. Ho, dog. I got an epiphany.
I ain't worried about shit. My eyes peeled on everything. Cause the pressure from the niggas round the corner in the feds, yeah, they are not the same. Gotta stay cause the long other dog don't reach in my neighborhood. Better nigga lay you down quick as one of these races. Y'all they don't give a fuck.
Fuck all your niggas in Congress, all of your laws and your accomplice. Tell me, what do you really accomplish? Burning down the city of Compton. Y'all rather give money to other countries instead, invested in cancer. You want votes, America want war, and my people really want answers.
I mean that wholeheartedly. When the cameras off, they all the same party. Fuck indoctrination, we do education.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Mids with They Don't Care About Us. Shout out to you, the Mids. Thank you so much for submitting this song. All right, yeah, powerful song. One thing I could do is I can hear this song being performed on stage, and I could hear the audience really being engaged with this. That's one thing I was definitely hearing with this song, especially with the different parts. You had the, you know, they don't really get that part. I think that's really gonna kill, especially whenever you get to some type of festivals and open mics and things like that. The mids, it sounds like you guys are probably some type of collective. One thing was that it's kind of jumped out at me, and it could be because I'm a producer, is that the first artist's voice on here was mixed really thin. It almost felt like somebody just scooped out all the body of that person's voice, and it set my expectations down because I thought the mix of the entire thing was gonna be like poor, but it got better. It got better and better, but I was judging off that very first recording artist, and I thought, okay, this song sounds like it has potential with the intro, but this artist's voice is just too thin, and everybody's going to be mixed in. So, you know, when we have a song like this, especially a powerful song like this with a strong message, we definitely want it to come in strong. So if you can get your engineer or your producer to get that first artist voice mixed better, then that's definitely going to take things to where it needs to go. Also, due to the fact that this is a collective, different people have different tones and things like that. You all have really different characteristics to your voice. It's like I want the mix of the vocals to just be a bit more cohesive. I felt like I was starting to move around different places. So if you guys can just, you know, try to get a different mix, just try. I'm sure you guys probably have an in-house person. You know, having an engineer is like having a barber. You stick to the person that you're comfortable with. You're there all the time, and it can be difficult to, you know, get out of your comfort zone. So, you know, try a different mix engineer and then try to get a different version of this one. And I think it's going to go super far. So yes, I think this song can really be taken up another level and really impact people, but we gotta hit people. You only have one time to make a first impression, and I want them to really feel this song, especially with a powerful message like this. But shout out to you, the mids. Thank you so much for your submission. All right, Mem Music Productions. If you want to do the VIP skip the line, that is actually $15. You can see that in the description. So if you click on the description, you'll see the option to click on that if you want to go ahead and get a VIP skip the line pass, so you can go ahead and get in the show. I thought I pinned that to the chat, but it looks like I may have forgot to put the price in there. So let me go ahead and add that just in case anyone else wants to get in there. Let me go ahead and add that. $15. Here, $15. All right, let's go ahead and post that. And then let me go ahead and pin that. All right, perfect. So now everyone who comes in will see the price as well. So shout out to you, MEC Music Productions. And just to let you know, MEC Music Production, this is technically an artist show. If you want to get the VIP skip the line, this is the first show for the artist, but it sounds like you might have beats. So if you want to get a VIP skip the line, I'll play your beat. But I do have a different show for producers. So don't want to get everything mixed up. But once again, if you do want to do that, you can get the VIP skip the line, and I'll go ahead and play you, since this is the first episode of the artist feedback show. All right, moving forward, the mids. We have another submission from the mids. This one's called Run Amok. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
North side is you
a money maker, rap singer, dot banger, sleeper, hater for the paper. Big Kane, the dragon slayer, moving up like elevators, bullet holes inside the crater. Arch nemesis like Darth Vader. My squad be acting up, so back it up before we break these niggas. Press the fuck with us and try your luck. We love to ghost these niggas. 450 where we from, we merciless. We come to serve you, man. Just some PG County boys get money all over Murderland. The mid is about business, witness, our gifting, our vision. Listen, this rap shit we master the power that's given, living the proof behind these bars. I swear to God, it's so therapeutic. Watch the nation of God run amok through this third music. We want it all, release the dogs. We bug the law, we risk it all. We want it all, release the dogs. We bug the law, we risk it all. East side is you, man. Run amok, run amok, run amok. West side is you, man. Run amok, run amok, run amok. I'm on a never lasting money mission.
Shout out to the Miz. That was the second submission of the night from the Miz. That one was called Run Amok. All right, shout out to you. All right, the Mids. Yeah, you guys definitely have you have a consistent sound. You know, I know what to expect in a good way. That's a really good part of branding, especially as a recording artist or a recording collective. It sounds like you guys are a recording collective. One thing is, if you guys are going to go ahead and put out music, I hope you guys are doing a lot of content. Definitely, please make sure you're doing, working your Instagram, putting a lot of content on your YouTube channel, because when I hear your music, I hear like a type of engagement. It sounds like you guys are out there really in the crowd, rocking the shows, really getting that energy going. So make sure you guys are recording things, recording a lot of content, recording a lot of video, because that's really how you're going to hook in a lot of people. There's a lot of artists out there, a lot of people making music, but one thing, especially as AI gets, more and more advanced, people are going to want those experiences. And it sounds like, based on your music, you guys are really high energy, and a great way to really get people excited about those experiences is by having a lot of video content. So even if you guys have to do it, start on your cell phone and edit it in CapCut, or, do whatever, however you're going to do it. Please make sure you guys sell that energy. You have a lot of energy. That energy needs to be sold to people. I could hear that, played at a gym, played at a festival, played at an open mic. That energy is definitely something people are going to be eager to get. So make sure you guys are doing that. As far as the song is great. You guys really captured your energy. Everything was really good. Personally, it's kind of a nitpicky thing. I feel like the mastering of the song could have been a little bit better, just a little bit better. But it's not super bothering me a lot. But I just feel like the overall mastering of the song could have been better. So, definitely, please, continue to cook up music, get content out there, and continue to grow your fan base. Hopefully you got a lot of video and things like that. So of course, everyone else who's checking out this live stream, you can see the name of the recording artist here, the Mids. So make sure you guys check them out. And if you like the music of any of the recording artists you've heard here on the Real Spotlight, make sure you go out there and support, purchase the music. Don't just make sure you actually hit the buy button, because stuff like that is what's going to encourage people and keep people going and creating music. Creating music is not easy, and if you just reach out there, click on their link on their website, buy a song, that's something that can just totally light up somebody's day. I was in the studio a few months ago. It was a artist showcase. Right, this one artist was just so talented. I bought his album right there on iTunes, and he was just like dumbfounded, like, whoa, like, bro, that's love, that's support. So definitely, guys, please make sure you make a purchase of these artists' music if you enjoy what you hear. So shout out to you, the Mids. What's going on, big boy daddy? What's going on? Glad you are checking out the first episode of the Real Spotlight here. This is the artist version of the heat check, essentially, trying to give more value out there to the music game. So this one is for the artists. So let's continue to go. Let's continue to move forward. A lot of submissions here tonight. All right. We got Reaco with Plums. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Your body's calling. It's your body, it's your ways. Tonight we can just vibe out. Take your time, sip your drink. What's on your mind? Get it off tonight. Hey, everybody's just vibing. Tonight we can't reminisce on what happened before. The memories cloud in my mind, but tonight we can let it out. Just move your body, just move your body, just move your body, yeah, yeah, no. Just move your body, just move your body, just move your body, yeah, you know. Tonight we can vibe out, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Reaco with Plums, and Reaco is R-E-A-C-O, Reaco. So if you guys want to check out that artist, you got their name right there. You can go ahead and support them. So Reaco, that song definitely has potential. I feel like this is one of the drafts and more drafts that could be made of this song. I'm just hearing like a couple things. So I have a couple notes here. One, I feel like the vocal mix, I feel like the vocals just could be mixed a little bit better. It could be blended a bit better just to really fit into the music. Also, there were moments in there where I feel like the pitch was a little bit off. So if you're gonna do another draft, another recording of this song, definitely watch that and listen back. Because the thing is, with R&B and Afrobeat and things like that, it's all feel. It's all feel. We all want to just get lost into music, the groove of the drums and the instruments, and we just want to get totally pulled into the music. And those little pitchy moments can really push us away. So we want to get pulled in and hugged into the music, and those little moments is just kind of pushing us away a bit. Also, I'm hearing like harmonies in that song as well. So once again, if this is just one of the drafts, please, continue to make other versions of this song and then add some harmonies. I want to hear, I want to hear those harmonies and doubles supporting your vocals. So one thing I'm hearing is like, possibly it sounds like some of you guys are like maybe recording at home or recording with a friend. Whenever you gather a nice little section of songs, a nice little collection of songs, definitely, try to take time to go out to a recording studio, even if it's a mid-sized recording studio. Like I mentioned earlier, even larger recording studios possibly in your area will run specials on certain days that are not listed on the website, where you can, really work your budget to get more bang for your buck, record in there, and then, make the final versions in there. So yeah, the song has potential, and keep going, keep grinding, That sounds good. And as a matter of fact, I have an Afrobeat. I just posted an Afrobeat on my beat page. So go to DesmondABeats.com. Maybe you might like that. That song has a hook on it. So check it out. If you like it, you can download it. And if you really like it, you can lease it and make a song to it. So shout out to you, Reaco. That was Reaco with Plums. All right. Moving forward, another submission today by Reaco. This one is called Next to You. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so Reaco, you got some good feedback in the chat as well. So we're gonna go ahead and check out this next song and see what it's hitting on. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
You got it bad, yeah. All that ass fit in them jeans, yeah. Been up all night, get some sleep, yeah. When you wake up, all you see is me. No Khaled, all we do is win. I'm just a young nigga, grew up in the hood. You got my back and you know I got yours. It's to the end, even if we fall next to you. Life feels so good, watch me go up. Let go of the balloon. I love you, I'm addicted to you. All I need is to be next to you. Being next to you, life feels so good. Watch me go up, let go of the balloon. I love you, I'm addicted to you. All I need is to be next to you. I just wanna hold you close. I'm good when I'm with you. Hold me down, no one else. I'm selfish, need your loving. I can't help it, hit the right spot. You keep yelling, underwater, Titanic. Feel like we have a connection, yeah. Baby, we can vibe all night. We was on ground, now we vibe through the sky. Mason Margiela, it don't matter what the price. As long as it's you and I. Being next to you, life feels so good. Watch me go up, let go of the balloon. I love you, I'm addicted to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the second submission of the day by Reaco. That's Reaco with Next to You. Shout out to you, Reaco, and thank you so much for your submission today. Now, Reaco, I definitely like that song more. I like that song more than the other song. That one felt much more melodically, pitch-wise tighter. And overall, just had a better feel for me personally. That's just a personal thing. Kind of got lost in the music, and I really like that. One thing is, I want to hear like a final mixed version. It kind of felt like you were able to blend things pretty well, but I could still tell, especially based on the level of that bass that was going on, that 808 that hit, that, you know, you don't have the track out version and you didn't have an engineer like mix and blend everything together. So I definitely want to, you know, have a final version. So a song like this, I really feel like you could get it to a mixer. I did hear the producer tags in there. So if this is a song you're going to select, you know, definitely get the track outs and then get an engineer to go ahead and mix the final version and then, you know, put it out as a single. Or just throw it out there as a filler. And if you're going to do singles and things like that, you're going to have to do a lot of content. So, and content is just, it could just be you talking to your girl. It could just be you walking through the park, you know, content is everywhere, you know, so it's not, you don't always have to have like a videographer have you do crazy cool lighting and stuff like that. You could just, you know, do simple stuff and you never know which piece of content will catch on. So definitely give that a try. Also, another thing I was hearing, Reaco, was I was possibly hearing, especially if you wrote this, I was hearing like a female version of this. So if you also write songs, if you did write this song, you also might want to try shopping a song like this to female recording artists. You know, it doesn't have to be a female recording artist, a recording artist in general. I'm just getting like songwriter vibes from this. So, you know, of course, you know, a lot of people want to be a recording artist, but don't be afraid to reach out to songwriters, whether it's Instagram, whether it's at some type of music conference, you know, reach out to other songwriters or recording artists shopping demos. Because I feel like if you did write this song, then you could possibly have a different artist on this and they could, you know, possibly purchase it and, you know, you're out of here. So don't be afraid to look into songwriting as well. So shout out to you, Reaco. Thank you so much for your submission today. I was glad to check out your music, and it sounds great. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, guys, see the artist name here. Definitely check them out, look them up, and support them by purchasing their music. All right, moving forward, we have BRAY Simi with Untitled. So this one wasn't titled, so I just went ahead and added Untitled. So let's take a listen here, and then I'm going to give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Damn, damn, she's a goddess, hell yeah, baby. I'm just being honest. Everywhere little mama go, she start a riot. She be 3 Where she going? Autopilot, hair done, figure right. She is a goddess. Grind hard day and night. She is a goddess. She got her own thing. She is a goddess. Don't you wish you were me? Cause she is a goddess. She on her shit and fly it then in it bird. Play with her emotions and you getting kicked to the curb. She fine as hell, but don't refer her as a bad bitch. She's a newbie and goddess, beyond average. I call her soul food cause she about her bread and cabbage. And she don't backtrack so she don't fuck with excessive baggage. She want a real nigga from the jump, oh yeah, not a fugazi. So of course she love the aura and presence of SMIZZI. She got my back like support from a back brace. And I thank God for her every time when I say my grace. She finer than all of my ex-girlfriends put together. So it's only right that I fuck with her through any weather. Damn, damn, she's a goddess, hell yeah, baby. I'm just being honest. Everywhere little mama go, she start a riot. She be 3 Where she going? Autopilot, hair done, figure right. She is a goddess. Grind hard day and night. She is a goddess.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that was BRAY SMIZZI. Excuse me, I said Simi. SMIZZI. BRAY SMIZZI. That one is Untitled. I'm assuming that one is possibly going to be called Goddess. All right, so shout out to you. A couple things here. So I know the direction of the song that you're looking for. It sounds like trying to venerate womanhood and femininity and, you know, let them know how much they're adored. So I know the direction that you're going in. It's just that the hook was just a bit, it was a little too simple. You know, of course we want simple hooks, but something in there could be said more. I want something in the songwriting of the hook to make a woman's ear really peak up and perk up like, oh, wow, like, that's interesting that he noticed that about women. So I want you to dig a layer deeper in the songwriting, a couple layers deeper in the songwriting, redo that hook in a way that's going to really grab women's attention. So that might sound a little bit broad, that might sound a little bit vague, but redo that hook. And it's like when Webby did the Independent song, you know, she got her own house, she got her own car. You know, it's not just that she's, you know, pretty, and so he was really talking about women leveling up and elevating in life, and that's something that he noticed about them, and that's something that he adores about women. So certain women's ear are gonna peak and perk up like, oh, a guy who noticed these things, he actually values that. Wow, that, and he noticed that about me, and that makes me feel special. So of course I don't want you to copy them, but in that same framework, let's dig deeper, and then let's have something that perks up the ears of women. So it's going to be something that you notice, and once again, it doesn't have to be complex. Just dig deeper, and I think that could really take the song to the next level. So redo that hook, and you know, if you feel like the verses are still complimentary to the hook, then keep them. But if you feel like they need to be leveled up because the hook has now been leveled up, then do that as well. So shout out to you. And it looks like you got another submission today. So we have another submission here by BRAY SMIZZI. This one is Untitled 2. I just named it Untitled, didn't have a title on it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Created
theme music. Shout out to Steve. Jams, ho. Hey, this my jam, ho. I'm in my own lane, I ain't trying to do shit. This shit feel like I just won a championship. Acknowledge me while I'm in my reign. Cause in this game, I came to bring pain. I'm in my own lane, I ain't trying to do shit. This shit feel like I just won a championship. Acknowledge me while I'm in my reign. Cause in this game, I came to bring pain. Nobody want me to do music, y'all. Want me to channel it elsewhere, y'all. But every nigga need they theme music. I do this for those who really fuck with my music. This shit epic. Movie screen. Making moves like I'm on the big screen. I know you see me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was BRAY SMIZZI with Untitled. All right. So shout out to you, BRAY. Now, BRAY, that, and I cut it off a bit early because I really feel like you could have did better. The writing just kind of felt like you really phoned it in. You know, you were able to do that song about women before, and then on this one, it just felt like you were trying to get through the song and just make sure the song was completed. So, man, dig deeper in your songwriting, push yourself harder, challenge yourself, make yourself uncomfortable, because the rhyme schemes were super simple, and you could have brought it. You could have brought it, man. I could just tell that you just wanted to get that song done with. So let's definitely push yourself harder and continue to work on that. So shout out to you though, BRAY. Shout out to you. Okay, in the chat, Big Boy Daddy. Reaco. I'm assuming that you could just Google Reaco's name. Reaco. But what I'm gonna do is after the stream, I'm gonna actually timestamp all the artists, and a lot of them actually included their website or their Instagram. So on the playback tomorrow, if you come back to the stream tomorrow, you're gonna find the timestamps, and then also you're gonna find the links to either their Instagram or their actual website. So make sure you check out the stream. I'll say tomorrow by, it takes a while for YouTube to load everything, so I'll say tomorrow by 2 p.m. Eastern time, you should be able to come back and see all the contact information for all the recording artists as far as websites and things like that. So yes, you are welcome, Big Boy Daddy. So shout out to you. All right, moving forward, we have Ashe, the singer. All right, shout out to you, Ashe. All right, this song is called Want Me To. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, play the song, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
I shouldn't have to call but once. Baby, give me what I want. Now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling it. Some people would call it delusion, but baby, it's just an illusion. I'm here next to you, next to you, next to you. It's so crazy how you've changed me to this beautiful mess. And like that, just like that, you pull me right back. Just like that, you pull me right back. Just like that, you pull me right back. And you can call it love, I'ma call it trust. Cause normally I wouldn't do this for just anybody. So it's like that, just like that, you pull me right back. Just like that, you pull me right back, right back, right back. And when the stars align, I hope that maybe one day I can come and change your mind. Cause you
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ashe, the singer, with Want Me To. So shout out to you, Ashe, and thank you so much for your submission tonight. Now, definitely I like the overall vibe, the energy of that song. I'm partial to R&B music. But one thing that definitely stuck out to me was the pitchiness that was occurring. There's definitely parts that were pitchiness, and then I could hear another part where your voice almost started screeching a little bit. It's almost like a little something that you did. I could hear that, like almost you ran out of air a little bit. So one, let's watch the pitchiness, and two, what I'm actually thinking is that this is a version that you probably did once again, maybe at home, maybe with some type of template. But if this is a song that you really like and you really want to put out there, then definitely please, try to get this recorded at a studio. I could hear like the mix of your voice. It sounded like it scooped out a lot of the low mids and the low end. So you might be using some type of template where just, cut things out just to make it at least sit in the beat. So yeah, if you like this song, please go to a studio, record it, have the engineer, tell you to, sing that again. I know artists, sometimes you guys run out of patience and things like that when that happens, but it's important because when you're recording and then the engineer has multiple takes there in Pro Tools, and then they could just piece certain parts together. Then when you leave the booth and you come around and you listen, everything just feels really so smooth. And that's because the engineer is working to piece things together while you're in the booth. So definitely, if you do and like the song, go get a studio version created and put it out. The overall structure of the song almost felt like a freestyle to a certain extent. It almost felt like poetry. Maybe this song actually sounds like it's probably a message to someone. So, if you're wanting this to be like a song, then you might want to kind of like try to get like the hook parts together to make it something that people could really feel and vibe to. So, the women listen back, they could be like, girl, I know that's right. Once you have a hook like that, you'll definitely take the song to the next level. But yeah, great. What I'm considering like a draft version, but let's create a final version. So shout out to you, Ashe, the singer. Thank you so much for your submission today. All right, moving forward, we have Unstoppable with Untitled. So this one didn't come with the title. I just went ahead and added Untitled so we can go ahead and take a listen to the song. I'll mute my mic and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Everybody knows I got something to gain. I'm doing everything, I'm keeping it steady, because in the long run, I'ma always be ready. I'm doing everything right like I'm winning an election. Still doing everything right here to perfection. I'm putting everything right up on the platter. I always prevail, and that's what matters. Everybody knows I'm not gonna stumble. I'm not gonna let my life go around and crumble. Everybody knows I'm not no sinner. Just trying to make it here, I'm always gonna be a winner. Still doing everything right here in my pride. I'm not bugging.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Unstoppable with Untitled. Now, Unstoppable, first thing is the intro. It was a little too long, and then that didn't really feel like it fit the rest of the music. So I came into listening to that song already put off because it didn't fit. It didn't really feel well. And then when I actually got to the verse, it felt like I mentioned one of the other submissions today, it felt like more of like a late 80s type of rap flow, which puts us in like a different generation, but not in a good nostalgic feel. It more so felt like it's a feel that someone wasn't really evolving. So we have people who are able to blend both worlds together, and then that really just felt like someone who didn't develop the style to really fit currently. And I don't mean as far as being trendy and chasing trends. It just felt dated. So yeah, that's that. And then just the rest of the production kind of felt like it was from 2000, maybe 2004. And it not in a good way. So yeah, definitely please please continue to just practice, learn different flows, things of that nature, and you will be grinding and developing. All right, moving forward, we have Tomas, AVECMOI, with Blown Circuit Master. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and go ahead and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Off my mind, I can't get you off my mind. I can't get you off my mind. I can't get you off my mind. I'm losing focus, girl. Without you, I don't feel right. You blow my circuit, and I don't feel when you're not here. 'Cause without you, my mind ain't right. I can't get you off my mind.
Now, Tamas, Tamas, there is a lot of piercing noises going on in that song, and that's really, really killing my ears. I'm not quite sure why all those piercing noises were added to that song, but it was just piercing and really, really scratching my ears. I'm gonna have to move on to your next submission here. I can't listen to piercing frequencies. So moving forward, we have your next submission here, Tamas, AVECMOI, with Girls in the Club. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this. I'm gonna mute my mic and then give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
No matter the girls in the club, I can lie, say I really kinda like it. The way she looking so good, I might really have to wife her. And to the chicks in the club, they be partying and group with their friends, I really like it too, my baby. The way she looking so good, I might really have to wife her. Went to the club, saw these girls at the corner of my eye, I'm surprised that I seen her. So I never all nights, it seems it's hard to choose just when I'm gonna leave it. I got one that's singing, one that's dancing, one giving her shakies. Another one that's fucking, one that's drinking. She says you better lead her. These girls, which one they claim? If I get control, I'm taking you and all your friends. You got me feeling the steez, and I'm trying to take one and I'm like, oh. I got the kitties in the back.
Gentlemen, that was Tamas, AVECMOI, with Girls in the Club. Now, I'm not quite sure what's happening, but this could be something going on with your master. It's hard for me to get into the music. Like, I was listening to your voice and I was listening to the groove of the song, and that was good, but I was hearing it, and something about, I don't know if it's the master, I don't know if it's the mix, it's harsh. It's just difficult for me to get into the music. Once again, I was hearing your voice and I liked the groove and where I was going, but I'm just hearing, it's not as nearly as much harshness as the first song, but this one as well. I was hearing you, but I couldn't really feel, and I think it's more so probably because of the master, I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but there's something audio-wise that's keeping me from being able to get into the music. So shout out to you. Please continue to keep grinding. But I could tell if you got in the studio, maybe with someone, they were able to give you a nice warm mix and like re-record, and a real nice warm master. I think we'll be in there, but it's difficult for me to hear with the harsh audio. All right, moving forward, we have Cam 24/7 with Untitled. So this one didn't have a title, so I named it Untitled. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and go ahead and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Girl, come over tonight. Yeah. Girl, come over tonight.
Yeah. It's Cam. Hey, how you doing? Cam. Yeah.
Got candlelight, dinner for me and you. Would you like to come over? Spend some time with me, pretty please. Come over, I need to be with you. Girl, come over tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, come over, girl, tonight. Slowly, I need your love tonight, baby. Tonight, tonight, you're heavy on my mind. Won't you hurry up? Stop dawdling, stop wasting time. Stop, my body's desperate. I'm gonna jump on you like a leopard. Wow. Don't say I haven't warned you, but we can do. Tonight, girl, come over. I wanna love you, baby. Yeah, girl, come over. Come on and see me. Girl, come over. Come on, baby. What do you think? It's a goddamn bad time to bring your sexy body so to my house tonight. Oh baby, I wanna touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Cam 24/7 with Untitled. Sounds like that might be called Come Over Tonight. Just guessing, but shout out to Cam 24/7. So yeah, man, that definitely gave me those, 90s, early 2000s R&B type of vibes, man. So shout out to you, Summer Walker single Heart of a Woman has that same kind of vibe. So, we're definitely going to have more recording artists wanting to get back in that bag and get back in that lane. So, definitely make sure you out there running ads, creating content, free. If you want to do free content, just create free content. You could do like a title on one of your shorts or something that says, what if you were in a time machine? It could take you back to, the 90s when real R&B was out, something like that, get people's attention and then, bring them to your website and whatnot so they can support you. But yeah, I was definitely digging that. I'm partial to that sound though. So, it's easy to get me with that type of sound. But yeah, great song. As far as constructive feedback, the intro was a bit long. It kind of took a while for us to get into the music. These days our attention spans are pretty short. So we want to cut that intro down and really get into the song quicker. So that way people aren't skipping around. Also, you have like the doubles, the background vocals. I wanted them to be mixed a bit better. They kind of felt like they really weren't blended as well as they could have been blended. So let's work on those background vocals, those doubles that were going on. And I think that's going to really set the song definitely in the right direction. But yeah, shout out to you, Cam 24/7. And thank you so much for your submission today. All right. And it looks like we got another submission from Cam 24/7. This one, Untitled 2. This one didn't have a title, so I just put Untitled 2. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's take a listen, guys.
Tell me why.
Baby, come here, let me talk to you. Sit down. Just relax, pour a little champagne. Let you know how I'm feeling right now.
Tell me why. Tell me why. Baby, it's me, so very close. Now you look, just run away from me. Now tell me, baby, you tell me why. Tell me why I'm losing your hold. I had to know, baby. I gotta know. I gotta know. Tell me why. Tell me it's me, girl. I gave you everything, your heart and desire. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, but if you go, I never need a thing no more. Tell me why. Tell me why I'm losing your hold. I had to know. I had to know why. I had to know. I had to know, lady. I got to know. Baby, tell me why.
Hey, shout out to Cam 24/7, bringing the real authentic R&B vibes. That one is Untitled too. Sounds like that one is probably going to be called Tell Me Why. But shout out to Cam 24/7. Now, Cam 24/7, definitely another great feel, real authentic feel. Definitely pulled me into the music. One thing is, especially a little bit towards the beginning of the song, I felt there were moments where just like a little bit, and I mean a little bit of pitchiness. So if we can possibly tighten that up, you possibly with your natural voice, you would more than likely just want to do multiple takes and just blend it in together in your DAW, as opposed to using something like auto-tune. I take it you're not a person who would probably want to use auto-tune, but personally, if I were recording you, I would have snuck some auto-tune in and probably not let you see it, and then I would have just put a little bit of auto-tune just to really tighten things up. But you can sing, you could definitely sing, but it could possibly be that our ears are so conditioned for those ultra perfect vocals that when things slip, it can really stand out. So we still want to keep it natural, but I feel like we could just tighten it up a bit, especially in the first part of the song. Later, you were really blowing, but there's certain parts there that might be challenging for the modern listener to just, look over. But other than that, great song, great feel. I also felt like your vocals could have been a bit louder. Could have been like maybe you use light compression, but I really feel like it could have been just kicked up a little bit louder. We need the vocals just a little bit louder. But yeah, great feel, great vibes. If you're out there doing your thing, if you create a bunch of content, man, and you link people to your music website and everything like that, they'll definitely dig it. But we're moving into a generation, especially with AI and whatnot, that music is going to be really disposable. So people are going to want to know who Cam 24/7 is. What were some of your influences? Why do you make the type of music that you make? What are some of your favorite albums? Who are some of your favorite songwriters? So these are all different things that music fans are going to want to know. That's really going to help build a connection. So shout out to you, Cam 24/7. Keep cooking up those great vibes. And yeah, man, keep putting out music. Definitely sounded great. All right. Moving forward, we have Hood Soul with Give Me a Sign. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
I've been fighting demons and I need some love. Tell me that you'll be there, babe. Tell me that you'll be there, baby. Ooh. I've been fighting demons and I need some love. Tell me that you'll be there, baby.
Yeah. Look.
You heating up, Lavish?
Oftentimes they say you bounce back from wounds that didn't kill, but never try to state the fact that you'll never be the same. And it's harder to believe that the love done went away when you always stayed solid for the ones who came your way. Now I'm in a state of panic and my mind is going manic from the pain of realizing that the real just not the same. Cause they fold under pressure, acting like they never knew you. Now you fending for yourself, praying cops won't pursue you. Feeling like your fate is sealed, like the devil made a deal. But the God be the glory, cause he keep my soul concealed from the demons in the trenches, trying to lock me in dimensions filled with pain, playing trauma till it's in my DNA. But I'm greater than it all, cause I rose from my falls, climbed about the deepest valley where the flames were involved. But the scars still remain, can't shake the feeling that they bring, of the fact that my life just can't never be the same. Listen, dear pain, I could never seem to get away from every single thing you put me through. And I try to stay strong for the people that I love, but I'm slowly fading from the liquor and the drugs. Lord, give me a sign, cause this is just a simple conversation and I need to get a word out of you. But if it's not that time and I gotta go survive, just promise me that I can have the strength to make it through. Lord, give me a sign.
I've been fighting demons and I need some love.
Lord,
tell me that you'll be there, babe. Tell me that you'll be there, baby. Ooh. I've been fighting demons and I need some love.
Lord,
tell me that you'll be there, baby.
Yeah. Lord, give me a sign that all of this is prepping me for blessings, cause the way to sacrifice is not a burden worth compressing. Second guessing my decisions when I'm supposed to walk by faith. I've been waiting for so long just to try and get a break, and I'm holding on to hope, but that don't...
Shout out to Hood Soul. That was Hood Soul with Give Me a Sign. So shout out to you, Hood Soul. Thank you so much for your submission. So, man, definitely a lot of talent out there, man. It's a lot of talent, a lot of talented recording artists, man. This is the first show of the Real Spotlight, and we definitely already have bangers. So for all the people out there saying, you know, whatever about independent recording artists and whatnot, y'all really be gaslighting. I know what you're doing. So I know what some people, these industry cats do. They gaslight independent recording artists to play with your emotions and play with your self-esteem, because this is definitely a grind. But this is my first show for artists, and we already got all this talent. So, all right. So Hood Soul, great song. Definitely had that inspirational feel. Nice, powerful vibe. I could definitely feel the emotions that were going on in it. One thing, especially for a song like this, it sounds like you recorded this in a studio, but I want you to have like a final mixed version. Like, I don't know if you didn't have the track, possibly didn't have the track outs for this song, but I would want this song to get that final mix, that final polish, to where, you know, everything is just totally blended together perfectly, and we can really just lose ourselves in the music. Because a song like this, you know, you're gonna have people crying too, you're gonna have people writing you DMs telling you how much it touched them, you know, people like pulling over on the side of the road, just how powerful this is. So, you know, definitely let's get a final mix version of this and then put it out there, and then I think this could definitely take off. Especially a song like this already has like content built in. You could take a picture of a letter that you wrote to yourself at a young age, you when you first started rapping. People like those I started here, now I'm here type of content. You could do that. You can do something where you have a post on Instagram. You could tell people, you know, what's one sign that really told you to not give up on your dreams. Something like that. You know, content is not just getting attention, but it's also engagement. It's also building of community. And I feel like a song like this is relatively easy to really get people to feel. So shout out to you, Hood Soul. Shout out to you, Hood Soul, for Give Me a Sign. All right. Moving forward, we got another submission of the night, Hood Soul. This one's called Let You Go. All right, Chef P, what's going on, Chef P? I see Chef P in the chat. Thank you so much for... Oh, Chef P, I reached out to you on Discord. I saw your message. So please hit me back in Discord whenever you have a chance. All right, Hood Soul. This one's called Let You Go. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
I swear I tried, but I couldn't save you. Swallowed my pride, but I couldn't heal you, no. Tried to cover up the scars, but maybe that's just who we are.
Is this who we are? Yeah, my heart hurts from the effort that I put in to prove that I was worthy to be with you. You ain't see it. Said you just don't see this becoming anything real. Now my heart is right back in the same old drill. I meet someone who shows me signs that she's worthy of my love, so I try to prove to her that I just want it for her love. I'm not a man that asks for much, maybe just a simple touch. As I hold you in my arms, should I start to feel that rush? I'm fucking up again. Wanna give my heart to you, but you're so closed off to the thought of giving me a chance. You say that we are young and we should probably live a little, but tomorrow's never promised, and I need you here today. I'm at a crossroads with myself because it always in the same. Always thrown into the box where good men seem to decay. And I'm trying not to let my heart freeze in these streets, but every time I try to give, I feel these fragments at my feet. Lord, I'm tired of this character development. Felt so many stings from the women that only end up bending me to the point where I might break. And maybe God, I do need a break, so could you please send that angel my way?
I done swallowed my pride so many times trying to make things right when I probably should've let you go. I got so many signs to leave you be, but I kept looking back just in hopes that you would follow me. Now here I am with a broken heart, lost my mind sitting in the dust, holding on a chance you would change your mind and come back home to me. But I gotta let you go, even though it hurts my soul. I said I gotta let you go, even though it hurts my soul.
Yeah, look, I'm too emotional. Wish I didn't have a heart so I could go and spread the same pain that I feel, but I know it'd be wrong. But at the same time,
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hood Soul with SCK with Let You Go. All right, shout out to you, Hood Soul. Now, Hood Soul, I'm starting to notice something. Oh, let me sit up a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm just laying back like I'm just kicking it. So Hood Soul, I'm definitely noticing something in your music. You're able to tap into these like deeper level of emotions and convey it in a way that is accessible to everyone. And that's definitely a good talent, which means that your fan base is really going to connect on you on a deep level, not just I kind of like your music here and there, I'll play it in the background. But this is the type of music that somebody is going to really reach for when they're going through something. And this is also coming off of the first song that you submitted. This is another type of like emotionally intelligent hip hop music that you're creating, which is great. And it's definitely a unique angle to come at in the music genre. So yes, I'm glad you submitted today. One thing about this song, and this is something that I was hearing in the other song as well, is it sounds like you did get this. You probably went to a studio to get this recorded, and probably had an engineer put things together, especially with that R&B singer. But I still want a final mixed version of this where everything is just totally blended. It just feels like certain parts of the beat, it's like it's like the beat in the music are kind of separate, and I want the beat in the music, the beat in your vocals, and the singer to all blend together in just this nice, smooth, cohesive way, because especially with the type of music that you're making, it's gonna be really important. I want somebody to like be closing their eyes on a bus, or you know, they just got in an argument with someone and they just reach for your music and they just close their eyes. And when they close their eyes, I want them to just totally be pulled into that energy that you're creating. And it's just things not being blended right could not really pull them into the feel that they need to be pulled into. So, you know, definitely I want to hear a final mix of that and you'll be good to go. But yeah, definitely got talent. You got a consistent style. And yeah, man, you could definitely go far. Just keep grinding and make sure you, especially you, Hood, so make sure you're creating content, because that's really how you're going to take off. Just Instagram shorts, YouTube shorts, TikTok, and then make it easy for people to find you. So shout out to you. Shout out to you, Hood. So, all right. Moving forward, we have LP Crooks with Untitled 1. So this one didn't have a title. I just went ahead and added a title. So we're going to go ahead and take a listen to this song. I'm going to mute my mic, give my feedback, and that's how we're going to do it, family. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was LP Crooks with Untitled 1. That didn't have a title. I just added a title, so I would have something there. So shout out to you, LP Crooks. Now, LP, you definitely have a unique voice, and that's coming through definitely coming through in the music. You have a lot of energy, but there's something that I'm hearing in your music. To me, it sounds like you want to say something, but in your writing, you're making your writing more, you're watering down your songwriting because you may feel like you don't want to open the door to certain topics. So you've gone through some things. There's certain topics that you could write about, but you're afraid that if you write about these things, they'll kind of leave you open. So I'm hearing that you have some type of deeper story. You have some things that you've experienced in this lifetime. You've contemplated writing about it, but you've held back. And what you've done is you've watered down what you're talking about in something that's just like, I know the homies are going to like this. I know the homies are going to, vibe out to this music. So let me talk about that because, everybody talks about that and, it's easy for them to listen to, but to stand out, you need to give people a piece of your character, a piece of your story, a piece of your experience. So with your songwriting, please stop holding back, open yourself up. Those stories that you're trying not to tell people, get those stories, put them on music, and let your voice really shine through. Let them know about that situation that happened, that other situation that happened, that thing that hurt you, that woman that hurt you, that situation that hurt you. You're holding back in your songwriting, and let's stop doing that. Let's open up, let the real you shine. You have a unique voice, and that's going to connect you to the people. So let's definitely do that. Let's stop holding back on your songwriting. And then other than that, as far as constructive feedback, there was just certain parts where the flow was off. It sounded like you might have ran out of breath and you just wanted to kind of keep going. So you definitely want to watch that as well. Just lock in. If you have to stop and do another take, stop and do another take, and then make sure you have the song totally right. So, and then also the mix sounds thin on this. It sounds like your voice was scooped out. So we would need a better mix on this song as well. So shout out to you, LP Crooks. Shout out to you. All right. So looks like we got another submission by LP Crooks here. This one is Untitled 2. Just didn't have a title, so I just added Untitled. So let's go ahead and take a listen. I'm going to mute my mic, play this song, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Oh my God. Okay. For some reason, when I stretch about the bed, I just can't seem to get money out my head. Cash so fatty, kid. When I stretch about the bed, I just can't seem to get money out my head. Cash so fatty, kid. You bout bands, you spinning them right. We serve L's like beers, true minimum price. Nigga play with my paper, send them to Christ. No frontin', boy, I'll put that shit up on my life. You a broke ass nigga, you better stack it up. Sit down and do the math, that shit just ain't adding up. Before I'm down to my last, I grab the mask and gloves. Burn an empty garbage bag in my hand, you know what's up. No games, trick or treat. Thieves been smoking dope so long, got them missing teeth. Break the bread down on the table, nigga, then we eat. If the convo ain't about cash, then you can keep it brief.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was LP Crooks with Untitled 2. So shout out to LP Crooks. Now LP Crooks, that one felt even more watered down. It felt like you decided to just start talking about money. You thought wake up in the morning thinking about money. There's more creative ways to write about things like that. Why are you thinking about money? Are you going through something? Does your family need money? Do you feel a certain way when you don't have money? You know, these are just the deeper layers that I was speaking about earlier that I can tell that you're holding back from actually getting to, and is making your songwriting generic. I can get these lyrics. I can hear these lyrics anywhere. You're not adding any type of unique perspective or unique perspective to what you're saying or what you're talking about. So, please dig deeper. It's going to take you being uncomfortable. It's going to take you being vulnerable. You might even be nervous. So maybe even if you created another type of song that shows the real you might want to show it to like a handful of people. You might think it's nothing, but if those people react to it really well, then, you got something. It's like Ice-T told the story about when he started writing and making music. It was so easy for him. He said it was almost like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, you guys like this? I didn't think that you guys would like something like this, and this is super easy for me to do. So once again, look at the reaction of maybe people who aren't your friends, maybe people who aren't your family, and then just see how they gravitate towards it. But we need to get a vulnerable, real, unique side of LP Crooks. Other than that, we definitely, as far as constructive feedback, the song needed a better mix. The production on it was it just felt like it wasn't really imaginative. It could just definitely be pushed harder. So we need better production and then dig deeper in the songwriting. But shout out to you, LP Crooks. Very unique voice. And yeah, keep pushing yourself, making yourself uncomfortable. That's how you're going to be able to grow as a recording artist. All right, moving forward, we have King Lyric here with To Be Chill. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
For real, smoke gas and take naps cause I got time to kill. Too busy doing the money dance, I ain't got time to steal. Broke gas, write music, to be and chill. Yeah, that's all I know, is to be and chill. Shootouts about money, I'm there for the thrill. I got talent just like them, let's make a deal. Life great, bars better, let's to be and chill. Standing in the kitchen, TV loud, I can hear Malkiva out breathing. Popping her shit, talking to Crystal Hughes. Problem after problem, who the hell gon' kill who? I don't know. Arguing with James, turning down lanes. Every time I turn around, Tristan busting brains. Tried to kill his cousin, shot his own girl. Took a baby life, left his baby in the world. I go get something to eat, come back and kick my feet. Murder busting heat, if you wanna eat, better move your feet. Bullets in the street, nigga, you ain't street. Ass just got beat, you on the wrong street. I don't even be in the way for real. Smoke gas and take naps cause I got time to kill. Too busy doing the money dance, I ain't got time to steal. Roll gas, write music, to be and chill. Yeah, that's all I know, is to be and chill. Shootouts about money, I'm there for the thrill. I got talent just like them, let's make a deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was King Lyric with To Be and Chill. Thank you so much for your submission today, King Lyric. Now, King Lyric, when I first saw the title To Be and Chill, I assumed that this was going to be some type of R&B song, like a R&B hip hop fusion kind of song, like, you know, how people like Wale and stuff like that had. So my expectations were in one direction. And then when I heard the song, it, you know, wasn't in the direction that I expected. So whenever we have our different song titles, people are going to start making assumptions on the type of music that it's going to be. So To Be and Chill, wasn't the hook, but it did throw off my expectations. Other than that, the actual concept of To Be and Chill is a good concept, but the actual song itself, once again, didn't really go to where I thought it was gonna go, especially with the verses and what you were talking about in the verses. It just felt disconnected. The songwriting in the verses where it's like you were kind of just rhyming words at times. I want you to just try harder. It just felt like your name is King Lyric. That's another thing. It's setting my expectations in a certain direction. So let's push ourselves away from that simple songwriting, the simple lyrics, and let's just try a bit harder. You know, just develop your songwriting. Find ways to connect your hooks to the verses itself in a way that's actually telling a story. You know, songs are essentially like movies. And if I saw a movie on Netflix and I clicked on it, it says something like, you know, Passion for Lisa. You know, if I'm gonna think of some type of love movie, a movie talking about heartbreak and things like that. Then if I click on it and then it's a comedy, and then it switches into a drama, then it switches to sci-fi, I'm going to be a bit confused. Things are disjointed and they're disconnected, but then the title says, you know, Passion for Lisa, and then the actual cover could be like a couple holding each other, but then my expectations are kind of pulled all over the place when I actually experience it. And that's what I'm getting from this. So King Lyric, please, let's develop the songwriting, develop the hooks, develop the verses, and let's push ourselves when it comes to the rhyming. So, all right. But shout out to you, King Lyric, Tubi and Chill. All right. So we got another submission today from King Lyric. This one is called You Ain't Street. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. It's a call out. KL. Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. You ain't street. 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 Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. You ain't street. 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 Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. You ain't street. 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 Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. You ain't street. 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 What you know about hustling? Nothing. What you know about struggling? Punk ass don't know nothing, just we wanna be up to something. You don't see them actors in the movies spin the block. Now you think you Ice Cube riding around with a Glock. You may got a flop, but what them birds ain't shit. They flip a pancake or a blick. They ain't no breakfast on no money. What's aggressive, super funny. Who you think you scaring? Big blood, just like Cameron. Big crip, just like Snoop. No, I know real life members, so that flexing shit ain't cute. If them niggas come recruit, you gon' tell in a suit. You gon' sweat just like Keith. Circle small like a reef. Call them out, watch them real niggas look in disbelief. Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. You ain't street. 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 Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. Tell him you ain't street. 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 Point that nigga towards the sidewalk. Tell him you ain't street. You ain't street. You ain't street. You ain't street. You ain't street.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was King Lyric with You Ain't Street. So shout out to you, King Lyric. Thank you so much for your second submission tonight. Now King Lyric, that one definitely that was definitely capturing my expectations with the title, the sound of the beat, and the intro. I was instantly getting pulled into the music. One thing I was actually hearing in the first hook, you could also have like a crowd vocal, like have some friends in the studio to add that you ain't street, you ain't street. So when you say you ain't street, that second one where you're just saying it solo, you ain't street, you could have a crowd or a couple of your friends say you ain't street. So that way, if you're performing it, the crowd can feel like, you know, you ain't street, you ain't street, you ain't street, you ain't street, you ain't street. So that's another way to get like crowd participation, especially in a song like that, You Ain't Street. Whenever we was getting into the verses, once again, I just feel like you can really just express what you're saying in a way that's more developed. Again, it just felt like oversimplified verses. So, and not in a good way, not in a way that's like, you don't want to talk over people's heads, but it was just like, I want you to develop those verses more, especially with You Ain't Street. I was expecting like a nice story to go along with it, talking about people fronting, pretending to be something that they're not, you seeing certain things about them that shows you that they're not really street, the consequences of pretending like you're in the streets, maybe you wanting to get out of the streets and encouraging someone to not be in the streets because it looks better than what it actually is. And I'm just freestyling off the top of my head. And these are things that I would want you to capture within the verses to connect the hooks together. Because I just feel like you could push yourself more. You could practice, develop, and then eventually you'll be able to express what you're trying to express in a more polished version. So shout out to you, King Lyric, though. Thank you so much for your submissions. You Ain't Street. It is definitely appreciated. So, yeah, thank you so much for your submission. All right. So now we have BZ with Soft Life. Now, BZ, you had 2 submissions. Your other submission wasn't in an audio format, so I only have this one, Soft Life Show Mix. So this is what I will be playing. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is BZ with Soft Life. I'm going to go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
I've been thinking about some things in my life. Everything is going left, but I wanna go right. Been through storm after storm, oh, I just want peace. I wanna go somewhere so I can be free from the problems that face me. I just wanna be happy, live my life so free, no pain or tragedy. That's what I want now. I just wanna be happy, live my life so free, no pain or tragedy. I want the soft life. Don't wanna live the hard life, I wanna live the soft life. Don't wanna live the hard life, I wanna live the soft life. Don't wanna live the hard life, I wanna live the soft life. Don't wanna live the hard life, I wanna live the soft life.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was BZ with Soft Life. Shout out to BZ. Thank you so much for your submission. Now BZ, a couple things here. One, first of all, let me start by saying that's a good song concept that you have there. Talking about soft life and not wanting to have to go through hard times. You want to be, you want to live that soft life. So that's a good concept. One thing, the first thing I was noticing is that we were having some pitchiness. Sounds like some parts were flat. We want to get that tightened up. If you're recording this yourself, you may want to get in the actual studio or work with an engineer to tighten up the vocal tuning so that way things are just locked in much better. Of course, that's not to say that you're not a good singer. It's just that there was pitchiness. You may have recorded yourself. I at times have had to tell artists, do that again, do that again, do that again, because sometimes you need that second ear to point out certain things. Especially you had like a little ad lib go, and that one really started to feel flat. So want to tighten that up and tune that up. Also the intro, there was almost like 2 parts of the intro. It started one way, then it switched a little bit. I got a little confused. I didn't know if there was like multiple artists going on. So we want to work on the intro, make sure it's nice and blended properly. Another point of feedback is the songwriting. It's a good concept, but at times it felt kind of like the songwriting was a little bit overly basic. Once again, we want to push that songwriting just a bit more, like, of me, tragedy. That's a little bit too predictable in a way that's not really interesting to the listener. It's almost like watching a movie that's just overly simple, where you're just like, okay, I already know what's going to happen next. You want something about it to really pull you into the music. I just felt like the songwriting was just a little too overly simple at times. So, possibly reach out to a friend or a family member. A lot of people have people in their families who've written songs, or maybe they just wrote songs for the church or something like that. Invite them over, have some drinks, invite them over, say, not that I encourage drinking of alcohol, let me not say that, but whatever you do to get yourself in the mood with your family members, whatever you do, we all grown, okay? So, invite them over and say, this is a song that I have. And, I sent it on the show. This one guy, this producer guy was like, hey, it's overly simple. What do you think I could do to like really push this song? So don't be afraid to ask for help. We all come in this world begging for help. So we're always going to need help to help us elevate to the next level in whatever we do. So, yes. But yeah, I feel like with some work, you can be able to put this together and create a version of the song that's going to be much better. But yes, keep going, keep creating music, and yeah, keep doing your thing. So shout out to you, BZ. All right, moving forward, we have SYANTE with Downhill. So that's Syante. I don't want to mispronounce your name. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play your song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
We met the first time and you were all smiles. I had great plans for us, could be good friends and then some. I wasn't looking for nobody new, but I was starting to warm up to you. Then you started my twisting, and you like to play the victim. The line started out wide, then turned gray. Now there's so dark I can't find a way. I feel us go downhill. I build so you could break it down again. I feel us go downhill. I build so you could break it down again. I thought I got you one moment, just a kiss. But then the very next year, optics so sketch. You went back on everything you said. Went from rosy pink to seeing red. You have such a good facade. Wanna know who the architect was? What's so nice? Not so much twice. I was steer on for a drive. I feel us go downhill. I build so you could break it down again. I feel us go downhill. I build so you could break it down again.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was SYANTE with Downhill. So shout out to you and thank you so much for your submission. Now, a couple things. Number one, I really liked the overall direction of the song. I liked your voice. I like the production. I like how I was taken from one point and it developed like a great story. Then things started to expand and it really almost pulled me totally into the music, but I'm going to touch on that in a second. But yes, just a great overall song that I'm hearing. Now, one thing that really threw me off about that song was the mastering. The overall levels just got real loud and aggressive in a way that was harsh to the ears. So I had to actually use the volume knob to pull things down. So, even though you are getting more aggressive and you're showing your power at the later stages in that song, we still want the volume to be in a way that's manageable. So let's say someone's at the office listening to the song and, they're really feeling your lyrics. They're going to have to reach for their phone to lower the volume when we really get into that climax. And with good mastering, you don't have to do that. Even though things are getting more powerful, it's still pleasing to the ear. So I would really want this song to be remastered in a way so the overall volume is more coherent. So that way, whenever you're reaching the climax, you're actually pushing in more power into the song as opposed to just adding loudness. And that's something that it's kind of a hard lesson to learn. It's something I've learned over time producing, is that loudness doesn't equal power. And that's something that I always have to tell producers in my other stream show called The Heat Check. And that's that loudness doesn't equal power. Loudness is just loudest. So if we want to add more power, especially in this context of this song, then we want to get better mastering. Also, I'm feeling like I like the song, but I feel like I want you to have this done at some type of, I'm not quite sure if you did this at a studio, but if you did, I would want this to be done at like a studio, maybe with, you know, a reputable studio in your area, in your city, and have the mixing and mastering engineer create that final version of it. Just because I'm hearing, like, I almost want you to have like and this is just could be me, I want you to have that like 80s vocal delay. You know those 80s songs, those 80s rock songs, where you'd have that nice little vocal delay that would go on. I'm really hearing that in this song. I want that 80s delay right there on your vocals. I think that would really, really add some nice character to it. Other than that, yeah, so overall, just the mastering, it got really loud, so we want to fix the mastering, and I would want you to do this at a recording studio, a bigger recording studios in your city, and then have the mastering engineer, mixing engineer do their thing on it. Because yeah, this could be a single. This could be a nice hit single that can be played everywhere. We just need to have a polished version of it. So shout out to you. Great song. And yeah, I'll be glad to check out more of your music. As a matter of fact, looks like I'm about to check out more of your music right now. So it looks like you have another submission here. This one is called Cold Blooded. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song. This is by Syante. This one's called Cold Blooded. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, play this song, and give my feedback. So let's take a listen.
Guess I didn't get invited to your party. Didn't care till I heard you didn't want me. Didn't expect to see everybody there but me. Guess I don't match your new designer outfit. Your French tips and the boys you hang around with. You're so sweet to my face. Your honey spewing stain. What if I were cruel like you? Leave you feeling cold and used. Baby, you're not cool. Baby, you're not cool. You're cold-blooded. Don't know how you go. So cruel. Girl, did someone leave you bruised? Baby, you're not cool. Baby, you're not cool. You're cold-blooded. Guess you thought that I would sit and cry a river. Took a day or two, but now I'm like, whatever. Get on my bad side. You've been for all time. Now I couldn't care less about you. Couldn't care less if I wanted to. Baby, you're not cool. Baby, you're not cool. You're cold-blooded. Don't know how you go. So cruel. Girl, did someone leave you bruised?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Syante with Cold Blooded. So shout out to you and thank you so much for your submission. Now, great overall song. I love the feel. I love the song concept. definitely takes me back to like certain like 2000s rock songs that I would hear out there, rock pop type of songs I would hear out there. You're kind of taking me back to that era, so definitely appreciate that. That being said, a couple notes here. One thing is I felt like your main vocal could have been a little bit louder, because there were parts where I felt like the music started to distract from your lead vocal. So if we could push that lead vocal up a bit, that would definitely help out. Also, right around when we're getting around the minute mark, right around here, let's see if my mouse wants to cooperate today. I'll just, right around here, if you can see my mouse, let me just pull the cursor here. Like right around this area, I was starting to kind of lose interest in the song a bit, right in this area, almost when we was getting right into the minute mark. And then things picked back up. And then when we got back over here to the second verse, I was really, really feeling it. But the thing is, our attention spans are so short that right around here, I wouldn't want fans to just lose interest in the song and just start to skip. So if we can kind of tighten that part up a bit, if you can listen back to it and just ask yourself, what can I do to keep the energy going? Is there anything about this that just will make someone not really be totally into the music? Like, what can I do right here? I was starting to lose interest at that point, and then things pick back up, especially when we move even further down in the song right around here. I really, really, really was liking that part as well. So, to me, it feels like this is a version that you have that you could possibly have redone. You know, a lot of times artists, you guys have so many different versions of the same song. You look in Pro Tools, it's like version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. I really feel like you could create another version of this song that's just more polished, I would say. I think this is a very, very good start, but I feel like it can be produced up. Like there's a way to take this song from here and push it up into like an 8. And that's why I'm being kind of nitpicky on my feedback here, because I hear the potential and I wouldn't want to just leave it here. It can be picked up and pushed up a couple levels to it goes from a song that people, kind of feel and think this is a pretty cool song, to a song that they're like, oh man, I love that song, man. I really love it. So definitely, try to get into a studio in your city. If there's a producer in your city, of course, look on Instagram and just Google, check out some of their work. And, if you have a couple songs in the stash that you feel like have a lot of potential, go into that studio, bring your track outs, and take it to that next high level. Really, really pull out the potential and push it up to where it could really be. So shout out to you though. Great song, great music. And I'll be glad to check out more of your work. All right, moving forward, we have Big Cade with Mode. All right, shout out to you, Big Cade. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and then go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Show these niggas that they can't fuck with me, bruh. Light up the weed, cut off the lights so I can get into my savage mode. Wearing that shiesty don't make you gangster. Back in the G, it was pantyhose. Smoking no cheetah piss. If ever I get in the jam, then know I'm gon' plead the fifth. Big C or MILF, been slept on, underrated name, never seen the list. I'm the run. 4th and long, we ain't never gon' punt. Swing for the fence, I'm never gon' bunt. Your favorite rapper praying, I'm on the hunt. Choking 420, I'm high for months. Niggas ain't rapping like this. Get on the song and they cap as a bitch. Never did nothing, yapping they lips. Checking the track and the package just shipped. He done did a money spread with another nigga bread. Y'all boys be killing me. Everybody say they got imaginary ops in real life, they be friending me. The 10th wonder, call me the great ape. Me versus 100 million, better put 100 million in a safe place. He don't know who he around, yet this nigga talking like he got a safe space. The guys made him move around, now he telling lies out here trying to save face. The minute I hit the game, it's a problem. Everybody getting money, but I got some youngers out here that be robbing. Gun big as Lil Wayne. Wayne, so you know I'm Gucci, but I'm steady mobbing. I got 50 in the club, I don't stand in line, plus they ain't charge me. Me and Twin low-key riding in the Kia bed. I got the 9 on me, got good aim. I can pop it up right, hell yeah, I can side on it. Real enough to rock a fit in the spot and tell you I got it from Target. You ain't really like that. If you can't finish it, then why you started? Boys out here acting slow. When we hit the door, we crank up the party. Feet never touch a dance floor. I be on the stage blowing Marley. Looking at a bad bitch, shake her ass, blowing the smoke out my nostrils. So please, no pictures, my niggas be tripping and strapped. Approach us with caution. All I want is money, I be chasing checks when I wake up in the morning. I'm OG, been certified since the house phone went cordless. You rap niggas sound the same, singing out of tune, that shit getting boring. You rap niggas sound the same, singing out of tune, that shit getting boring.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Cade with Mode. That's Cade, C-A-D-E with Mode. Shout out to you, Big Cade, and thank you so much for your submission. Now, Big Cade, I really like your flow on that. That was really like a freestyle. You're letting people know who you are, how you feel, what you're about. Definitely a good freestyle song that you got going on there. But that beat, it feels like that beat may have been something that you put together yourself. Like you had this energy in you. You maybe couldn't find a beat that fit what you were trying to express, and then you made this beat to just get off what you wanted to get off. So I feel like this, what you have here, and the fundamental concept of that beat, it feels like a new beat can be created around what you already have here. Meaning that whoever produces a new beat to it can use this main beat as a framework to really create something new around your vocals. So I feel like this is a first version of the beat. You can mute that beat, go to maybe a friend's crib who makes beats. Maybe there's a studio in your city and, you know, they got a producer on staff and you can let them know, hey, I have this song. I want a new version of the song. If I book studio time, can we create a new version of the song that I have here? And, you know, can you make the beat and can you not, use this as a guide and we just cook up something new? I think if you could do that, then that could really take this from one place and really make it something much better. So yeah, you were flowing on this beat, you're flowing on this, but we want a new beat to really pull us in, because the beat was cool, it had a nice bounce to it, but it was overly simple. It's just the same thing over and over again. So yeah, I think once you do that, you'll be out of here. So yeah, shout out to you, Big Cade. All right, moving forward, looks like we have another submission here by Big Cade. This one is called Fallout. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Okay, I can fuck with you today, cut you off tomorrow. Set my own tone, trends I don't follow. If I can't tell you right from wrong, then I'm not your friend. It's loyalty over love, you lose, learn, and win. But we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out. Like my blood pressure low, we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out. I ain't scared to fall out. Remember my little cup had told me I was rough on friends. Told her if they cross you one time, they'll do that shit again. Fake love's at an all-time high, I'm with a selective few. You can keep your guess, man, if it hurt, just tell me the truth. Sat at that table and I poured out my heart. We was face to face, you couldn't apologize for your part. I can love you from a distance, cut them off, no explanation. Had some brothers by my side for years, undercover hating. We ain't on combo terms, it ain't me to hold a grudge. I just speak and keep it moving, it'll never be like it was. Try to discredit my name when I got bricks in that building. We crumbs still in the carpet and footprints on the ceiling. Today, cut you off tomorrow. Set my own tone, trends I don't follow. If I can't tell you right from wrong, then I'm not your friend. It's loyalty over love, you lose, learn, and win. But we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out. Like my blood pressure low, we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out, we can fall out. I ain't scared to fall out. We ain't spoken years, I don't feel a liquor guilt. Fronted my big cousin and he ran off with the zip.
I ain't scared to fall out with nobody. Best friend, brothers, sisters, cousins, nobody. We ain't spoke in years, I don't feel a liquor guilt. Told my homegirl the bitch, she ran off at the lip. I ain't scared to fall out with nobody. Best friends, brothers, sisters,
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Cade with Fall Out. Shout out to you, Big Cade. Thank you so much for your submission. Now, Big Cade, one thing I want to point out to some of the other rappers that I mentioned about having overly simplistic raps is this is a good example of using lyrics to express yourself in a way that's not super simple. I could tell that Big Cade has been writing for a while. He's been writing songs for a while, and it's not this super simple, super basic ABC 1 2 3 kind of thing. I could tell that his songwriting style is more developed. So I'm not trying to pit artists against each other or anything like that, because I wouldn't want somebody to pit producers against me and say, oh, you need to be like that person. That's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is, like, I'm trying to use this more so as like a lesson of development of songwriting. So yeah, shout out to you, Big Cade. I definitely appreciate your songwriting and your submission today. All right, now as far as constructive feedback for you, Big Cade, one thing that was bothering me about that song was the volume of that main snare is really loud. So it sounded like you guys might have just had like the beat and just loaded it in and then just recorded to it. If you don't have the track outs, you're not trying to get like a final mix version, you could just have your producer lower the volume of that snare, that main snare that's going on in that beat, because it's just overly loud past your voice, and it kind of makes things feel imbalanced in a way that kind of threw me off. Other than that, Big Cade, one thing I'm hearing is just, it feels like when I'm listening to your music, when I'm listening to this song, it sounds like this is a version of a song that a new version could be created on or created of. So I'm not quite sure what city you're in, where you're located, but it sounds like you're recording somewhere. Maybe it could be like a smaller studio, maybe a friend or family member studio. But if you can find, once again, like a mid-sized studio, or, you know, whatever your budget is, like I would want you to get in a studio so you can get that quality. I want you to get that nice. I want you to get in the studio with someone who could really capture your voice. They got the nice outboard gear and things like that to really get the full presence of your voice out, because it feels like however this is being captured, there's more there that could be placed in the music to make it more felt. So yeah, if I can get for you, of course, you know, I don't have any control of what you do with your time, but in my opinion, I feel that you getting into a recording studio would definitely help. But continue to record these songs and have them in the stash, and then maybe you could even ask people on your Instagram, you know, which song should I make the final version of? Which song should I go to the studio to record the final version? So record these versions and then get into the bigger studio and then make that final version at the bigger studio. So hopefully that made sense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we have Cookie, the Money Monster. This one is called Chase a Check. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, mute my mic, and go ahead and give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Cookie, the Money Monster, baby. Cookie, the Money Monster, baby. Chaser, check, yeah, chaser. Bag, woo, chaser, check, yeah, chaser. Bag, woo, chaser, check, not a nigga, bitch. Chaser, bag, not a dick, bitch. Chaser, check, yeah, chaser. Bag, woo, chaser, check, yeah, chaser. Bag, woo, chaser, check, not a bitch, nigga.
I robbed the bank. Money so high, all I see is dollar signs. My new crib is gonna have elevators. I'm counting down the day till I'm rich. I'm so close, I can't taste it. I'm in the jungle, I'm in survival's mode. I'm not gonna stop till I'm at the top. Drip, drop, wrist so heavy, I'm rocking up motherfucking latest wristwatch. Chaser, check, yeah, chaser, bag, woo, chaser, check, yeah, chaser, bag, woo, chaser, check, not a nigga, bitch. Chaser, bag, not a dick, bitch. Chaser, check, yeah, chaser, bag, woo, chaser, check, yeah, chaser, bag, woo, chaser, check, not a bitch, nigga. Chaser, bag, not a click, bitch. Well, now that you know what I do, I'm not here to play, nor am I begging.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Cookie, the Money Monster, with Chase a Check. Shout out to you, Cookie, and thank you so much for your submission today. Now, Cookie, that overall song was a great song concept. I could definitely hear the ladies in the club turning up to it like, girl, I know that's right, Chase a Check. You know, I could really see them getting into it, especially in performances. As soon as I was listening to the song, the first thing I visualized was an artist on the stage really getting crowd engagement. Now, that being said, great song concept, great hook. But the thing is, once we got into your verses, the flow of your verses was a little... It just felt like the flow of the verses were underdeveloped. It just was like dun 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 dun. But with the energy of the beat and the energy of the hook, I was expecting like snapping. Like I was expecting like crazy flow, really just hitting me and just like, ooh, like man, she's going off. Like I wanted that. But instead, it's like I got really, really excited. The hook was really good. Then once we got to the verse, like the energy was like, you know, it's like I definitely wanted something else. So personally, if I was in the studio with you, I would have said we need to redo these verses because the hook and the beat, we need to get verses that really pull people in, maybe throw in some clever lines. The hook was clever. But the verses, please, Cookie, if you're in contact with your engineer or your producer, whatever studio you go to, let's just mute these verses, go back and snap, go off. I need crazy flow. I need a great flow that continues the energy of the hook, of the beat, and that just keeps me locked in, totally hold my attention. Don't get my attention, get me held in, get me turned up, and then, you know, I really want to hear you snap, Cookie. So please, let's redo those verses, and then you got something that you're going to go out, you're going to do your performances. There's going to be a demand for you, but we need to redo those verses and you know, take it to a new level. All right. That being said, we got another submission here by Cookie, the Money Monster. This one is called We Riding Through My City. All right. Let's go ahead and play the song. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, then give my feedback. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Cookie Monster on the beat. L hitter on the beat. Cookie Monster on the beat. L hitter on the beat. I'm riding through my city. I'm riding through Chirac. I'm riding through my city. I'm riding through Chirac. I'm riding through my city. I'm riding through Chirac. 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 Chirac.
bustin', supplies me apples, an ounce of Harry Potter. I'ma beat the pussy, I'm a cherry popper. Niggas teeth and 2 fairy stoppers. I'm a hood nigga, but I'm very proper. Little kids, shout out every dollar. I'ma risk it all for every dollar. Humble as fuck, I got ass in the back of me. Been in the feeling, not one nigga tackle me. I got the money virus, I got allergies. We run a train on that bitch, then I rap the beat. I'm possessed, I don't know what's inside of me. I'm a vegan, I'm focused on salaries. Had to cut him off, he was the chattery.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Cookie the Money Monster with We Riding Through My City. Shout out to you, Cookie the Money Monster, and thank you so much for your submission. Now, Cookie the Money Monster, you have a really good way of capturing energy. I'm not quite sure who your producers are or, how you're getting these beats and creating these hooks, but you have a really strong foundation on beat selection and the creation of these hooks that carry a lot of energy. Not everyone is able to do that, but I'm seeing, at least from your few submissions here tonight, that you're able to capture that energy. So salute to you. And that's something that's actually valuable. You mentioned Chirac, so maybe you could help other people in the city, create their hooks, create energy in their hooks. Everyone doesn't have that skill set. That being said, when we went from the hook to your verse, that flow it felt much better. It felt much more smooth and cohesive, and the transition from the hook to the verse was much better. It was much more of an improvement than the other one. I didn't feel like this huge drop in energy. That being said, I felt like we need to work on that flow. We still need to work on that flow and tighten up that flow just a bit more. It's just, I'm still hearing that kind of like simple rhyme scheme that could just be polished a bit more. We need to polish the rhyme scheme more. So listen to the classic, artists out there. You're in Chirac, Chirac has some very great artists. One of the best flows, is, you don't have to rap like Twista, but Twista has one of the best flows out there. But just study the greats, study other recording artists from the classics, listen to the greats and listen critically, really listen to how those artists were writing the beat, and using their flow. Don't just listen to music for enjoyment. I want you to listen as a student and listen to how the voice was bouncing off the rhythm of the beat, bouncing off the groove, or what parts did they switch their flow, what parts did they switch their rhyme schemes, and then ask yourself, okay, how can I take from these classic artists, from these classic songs, and how can I push myself to be better as a writer and as a rapper? So there were certain parts in there that I would definitely have had you, redo, like, okay, let's do that part again, let's do that part again, and then I would have found the best take and then, put it up in Pro Tools and then just selected the best one. So, definitely keep creating music, but I want you to study the greats and listen to the flow, listen to the rhyme scheme, and listen as a pure student. Not just the overall feel and the energy of the song, listen critically as a student. But shout out to you, Cookie the Money Monster. And it looks like that was our last submission of the day. So this was almost a 3 hours, just about a 3 hour show here. This was the Real Spotlight. Typically, I only do a producer live stream, but I just had the idea like, hey, let's go ahead and have some recording artists submit their songs. So I created the Real Spotlight to spotlight recording artists, and we had some people jump in, and they were fans of some of you guys' music. So, thank you guys so much for your submissions. Please leave some comments. Let me know if you guys want me to continue this show. I already have the heat check show for producers only. So if I do this show, the Real Spotlight, is going to be some work because I got other things I need to be doing. So if you guys want me to continue this show, leave some comments and let me know, because it's a lot of work that I got going on. And if I don't get any feedback, then I'll just stick with the producer only show. But this was fun regardless. If this is the first, and last show, this was fun regardless. But if you guys want this show to continue, please leave your comments so I know, hey, come back for the artists. don't just make stuff for the producers. And yeah, then I'll be back. I'll make time in my schedule for you guys to give you some feedback. Definitely had some great submissions tonight. Great music out there, man. You guys are bringing the heat. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Desmond A. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Mostly has producer content, but you can still get some very valuable information if you're a recording artist. And of course, go to DesmondABeats.com if you're a recording artist to go ahead and lease some beats for your next project. You can download the beats whenever you're ready to lease them. You can go ahead and lease them on the website as well. But there is a download option so you can practice to the beats before you decide to purchase. And if you are a producer and you're checking out this live stream, The Real Spotlight, make sure you go to DesmondASounds.com. See, DesmondASounds.com is for the producer. So go there if you want some free FL Studio Patcher plugins, free loops, free guides, a lot of different stuff to help you level up as a music producer. But yes, this was a great show. Thank you guys so much for your submissions. It is a Saturday night, and I appreciate everyone who checked this out. So yes, my name is Desmond A, and I will see you guys when I see you next time. Let me know in the comments if I need to do the show again. All right, guys. Y'all be safe.